Alright, tonight, scrappers, we're gonna scrap this. This is a 3.5-inch floppy drive. This is old school. Wiki, 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 wiki. Let's start by getting the screws out. So we got some gold-plated pins here, I see. It's been a while since I've scrapped one of these. Got some sharp edges here. Make sure you protect your hands. Protect your eyes. Get these screws out. I'm sure there's going to be more screws inside that I don't see. See how this is beige in color? It wasn't beige when they originally put it on here. They put an additive in the plastic to make it flame resistant, and that additive turns beige after being exposed to UV light. Oh, we're in. Another screw I'm missing? Of course there was. You don't have to take stuff apart. You could always break it apart. But there we go. Nice piece of green board, green on both sides. Silk screen on both sides. Got some somewhat decent looking chips in there. Nothing magical. We have some monolithic ceramic capacitors. Should turn the scale on here. We'll get a pre-scrap weight. 1 pound. We got some tin. Some green board we'll get to a little bit later. Oh, that's usually a pain in the butt to get that screw out. But you can always get underneath this and pry this up. Because there's yummy copper underneath here. There we go. More steel tin. Now, I'm going to call this copper bearing. I believe that's usually brass or bronze. Usually slides right out. Not this time. If you're really hard up for scrap, these you can cut them down low, and then this copper will just come off. You can get the copper off all those. So I'm just going to call this copper bearing. That's a lot of work, but you can get all that copper off of there. And this board, yeah, one more screw. Is it glued on there? Sometimes they glue this one down. Nope. I'm going to sneak this in with my green board. No, I'm not. That's copper bearing board. Got a decent chip on there. More monolithic ceramic capacitors. We'll hold that for a little bit later. You see a nice piece of aluminum in here. So you might see a lot of some repeat stuff that I've scrapped in the past. Because different manufacturers make stuff differently. Now these things are like a snowflake on the inside. This is usually brass. And I usually just break it off. Grab onto it somehow. Oh, it's not going to break for me. There we go. I usually just break it off or cut it close. And these motors, you can usually get the copper out of these motors too. Well, I've done it in the past. Let's see how easy it's going to be. Not this time. I'm just going to call this copper bearing. Heads. I want to clean up that piece of aluminum. If it's going to be too complicated, I'll just call this whole thing 10. Get 10 price for it. Because I don't have the proper, my bit's not getting to get those. So this is going to get called 10. A little copper right there. I'm going to throw this in the copper bearing bucket. 10. These things here are sometimes brass. Not that time. And now we got this green board. Now I'm seeing some copper plated pens and monolithic ceramic capacitors. These little guys right here. There's one there. Now these, you do want to start saving these. These are worth about, at one point they were $20 a pound. Now all you do is you put your screwdriver down and you walk them off. See how easily that came off? You kind of walk your flathead across the board. See how easy that came off? Didn't go flying across the room. I didn't lose it. And they do add up. Start a little container of them. We're going to get the ones off of this board as well. You'd be surprised how fast they add up. Because just about every electronic device has a couple in it. And this board had quite a few. At one point I think these were selling for $20 a pound. But it doesn't take that much to make a pound. This little cup right here will hold a pound in about. And there you have it. We have some copper bearing. And now for these gold pens. These, they look like they're gold all the way through. That plastic's going to slide off, it looks like, maybe. Or you can bend it up. I forgot how I used to do this. This one looks like they're gold all the way around. That's how it was. They pulled out the back. So you definitely want to start saving all your gold-plated pens, because these do add up. It's not that hard to get them. So you guys liking the new video format? You liking the videos? Because there's going to be hundreds and hundreds more videos. I'm not going to stop. How are these ones going to come out? These going to come out the same way? Look at that. Of course they are. You don't got to get them 100% clean, just clean them up. And when you got yourself a couple pounds of these sell on eBay too. Just Google it, look it up. You don't have to bring your scrap to the scrap yard. You can sell it on eBay. A lot of money to be made sitting in electronic waste. So this is still green board. And there you have it. We are finished. It's about as far as I'm going to go. With some gold-plated pins. I'm going to end up needing a much bigger container. You watch. Some monolithic ceramic capacitors. Save all those. And we got almost a pound of scrap still. So we ended up with about 3/4 of a pound of tin. About 1/4 of a pound of copper bearing. A little piece of green board. Copper bearing, green on both sides. So that was easy. A few minutes worth of work, make a buck or two. So just remember guys, scrap is everywhere. All you gotta do is find it, sort it, and hoard it. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.